Okay, y'all, come on in. Come on, come on in. Hey, y'all, come on in. Long live Dolph. I won't be here long. I say that all the time, but yeah, long live Dolph. And what it says is that Young Dolph family scored legal victory as Iller Justin Johnson appeal is denied. Hey, Travis. Hey, Willie Spencer. Hey, Phyllis Dotson. So, the family scored a victory. This clown tried to appeal it. His life plus 35. Some about some evidence. Now, word on the streets is that he was trying to talk and trying to get some time shaved off. You know what I mean? He was trying to get some time off and wanted to go back, and then he was going to expose. Word on the street, allegedly, he was going to expose Govan. Can you believe that? He was going to expose Govan and Yo Gotti. That's what word on the street was. Let me take that off. Yeah, now. So it's like, dang. And I still don't know what the holdup is with. I know they said housing, but I'm still kind of hopeful that it has something to do with, you know, hopefully a RICO comment. I don't know. But the family took this as a victory. Also, we're going, oh boy, for Anita Baker. Anita, oh Lord, did I say Baker? Wilson. Trayon Ingram. I think he's going to court, a trial. Here coming up. So I'm going to touch bases on that. And also, yeah, let me see what it pulls up. His paperwork. Same Jennifer Mitchell, March the 30th, the end of the month. A special prosecution unit case. Oh, that's Cornelius. I thought I'd download Trayon Ingram's. And y'all remember, what's his name? What's his best friend? I can't even think of his name. It's been so long. What was the goofy boy name? Oh, man, what's his name, y'all? They used to be with CEO Bobby. JoJo Splat. He goes to court. Let's see. Indicted general session. He goes to court on the 30th as well. Interesting. With different judge, though. And I'll double check on Trayon Ingram, who had that white Benz over in Covington. So we got to stay woke. But let's hear what they saying about Straightdrop. Y'all ready? Hit the like button. They're still out there. People are still working. You know, I was just so disappointed in what happened. Let's go.
convicted of killing Memphis rapper YoungDolph has lost his appeal to overturn his 2024 guilty verdict.
Justin Johnson was convicted of first-degree murder
How
and
you gonna try
sentenced to
to?
life plus 35 years. His legal team appealed, claiming there was insufficient evidence and multiple errors were made during his trial. Yesterday, the Tennessee Court of Criminal Appeals upheld the lower court's decision. Johnson was one of the...
And I was trying to see who was that girl in the back to see if it was that girl. To see if that was his girlfriend that's tied to Howard.
2024 guilty verdict.
Justin Johnson was convicted of first degree with insufficient evidence and multiple errors were made during his trial. Yesterday,
That's not her, is it?
the Tennessee Court of Criminal
Dang, I missed her.
Appeals yesterday, the Tennessee Court of Criminal Appeals upheld the lower court during his trial. Yesterday, the Tennessee Court of Appeals were made during his trial.
Because he looked at her. Is that somebody else?
Evidence and multiple errors.
Is that girl that was tied to Howard Barnett?
Were made during his trial. Yesterday, the Tennessee Court of Criminal Appeals upheld the lower court's decision. Johnson was one of the men who shot and killed YoungDolph in November 2021. The other gunman, Cornelius Smith, has a plea agreement under review.
Long live Dolph. Full justice for him. Hold on.
We'd like your dad to donate his liver.
Donate his liver? Hold on, who in here? Hey, Reflections with Kimberly. Hey, Mrs. Tom. Her hands is covering her face. Yeah, what was her name?
Killing Memphis rapper YoungDolph has lost his appeal to overturn.
Lost his appeal. Thank you, Lord. Hey, Cynthia. Let me see. I'm going to try to stop on her.
Justin Johnson was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life plus 35 years. His legal team appealed, claiming there was insufficient evidence and multiple errors.
Dang it.
Were made during his trial. Yesterday, the sentence were errors.
Trying to get it from.
Were made during his multiple errors.
You see her back there, Kimberly? She looks like she's a pretty girl. Is that her? Right here. There I am. Ooh, there I am. Is that it? And I saw something with, is that it? Is that her? I can't even think of her name. I've been so far removed after old boy got off. Hold on. Is it Rakisha? No. Let me see. I saw a true. I don't know what it is that he said. I just saw the other day. He posted something. And YoungDolph bombshell shooter Cornelius Smith, Bill Desmond. What? You know, he just be so hit and miss. I don't even know if I want to listen to it. Why would he say Cornelius Smith? Did Cornelius Smith? Oh, man. And this, I don't... Man, I really hate to bring
Spot the
this
5
stuff up.
differences.
Because I
Can't
haven't
find them?
looked at it, and some
1.
of this stuff
Clean,
is so
tested, and
far-fetched.
What's going on, y'all? This is true.
Hold
Salute to
on, let's
everybody.
listen. So y'all see it? That's what I'm talking about. I don't
This
know
is
who
got
see it.
a little truth to tell y'all about Straightdrop.
One of the men who shot and killed young Dolph in November 2021. The other gunman, Cornelius Smith, has a plea agreement.
He had a whole bunch of police officers there, didn't he? Well, thank God the appeal was denied. Father God, Lord, we thank you. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. Let me see if there's another one before I go over here too. Oh boy, because I haven't looked at it. Okay. Trayon, remind me to look at him. But I don't want to, okay, y'all. I don't want to, let's just listen because I don't know what this is and I haven't entertained him in a minute. But I need to hear what he's saying because I've been far removed. But shout out to True Results. Shout out to True. But I don't want to record his stuff. I just want to listen. Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
What's going on, y'all? This is true. Salute to everybody.
Can y'all hear?
I just got
Can y'all hear?
a little truth to tell y'all about Straightdrop. Don't matter who go first anyway, we smarter than that. But I will have to put this, I will have to say this, not cause I'm the shit, but I'm still True Result, right? It's always a bigger play with me. I mean, anybody that got information and without even that's quick to shit. If you got paperwork, shit, trust me, I brought y'all the live appeal here. Shit, I don't know the levels of this shit. So let me break it down for y'all. Salute to everybody anyway. I mean, damn. But anyway, so step by step. If your ass went to trial in state court and you got found guilty, you'll be Straightdrop, life plus 35, right? Now, since I'm breaking it down for the people that know my third eye stay open and my feet stay on the motherfucking ground, y'all can have this shit. But Straightdrop is a young cat, right? Look at the older cat. Online, outside, whatever. They responsible for this shit. Can't blame it on the mothers. As Govan.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
He always gonna be his time getting shorter and shorter. Cause Sawyer had a goddamn teardrop on his face. I guess he got that removed though. Big shit. I ain't gotta call you guy. The prescription doctor will though. Shout out to all that. But Straightdrop guys found guilty, right? Life at 35. Your first automatic appeal goes to the Court of Criminal Appeal.
Hey, Grateful Nanny.
I mean, he ain't had but three, matter of fact, I ain't better go through that shit. If it wasn't for the True Results in the family, I wouldn't even knew that. So that's what I'm
Donisha.
saying. I mean, the information on the board. I even said it in the video. There y'all go. Y'all check on it for me. I can't be everywhere. So here we go. So that's the first appeal, right? But he ain't the first motherfucker that got sentenced for a murder charge, baby. It's a long game. So that's the first one, right? It's denied, right? So I'm gonna put y'all up on game so y'all can see what the bigger play, the bigger plan. Now check this shit out. So the Criminal Court of Appeals, Straightdrop got denied, right? Now somebody tell me, what's the next step? Denied before I tell y'all. The Supreme Court, right? Supreme Court, shit, I just like the Fed. Man, I ain't got time for this shit. It's like, 99.9% everybody denied Supreme Court. So that's the second appeal, right? Now, follow me though, right? Now after that, after the Supreme Court, I'm quite sure it's gonna be like every other motherfucker with a murder trial. Follow the script. But they got a plan for Straightdrop. Y'all ain't never seen this shit. Breakdown. So
Already
Did he say
creating on
break
YouTube
down?
or TikTok? Your existing videos could be
Too
earning
funny.
more. With Air, we
playing for Straightdrop. Y'all ain't never seen this shit. Breakdown. So now we already can assume Supreme Court gonna deny his ass. Then get what? Here comes the play, right? Now after the Supreme Court, that's gonna be the second appeal after this one, right? Check this out. Then y'all see, then y'all catch up. After the Supreme Court denies ass, ain't not that important, right? Guess where it goes back to? It goes back to the goddamn trial court, right? That's what they call a post-conviction. A post-conviction, right? Now, right there, they moving the chessboard around. So, just like that billboard in Manhattan, just like, it's y'all boy, Yo Gotti, and that prime real straight for an unknown rapper.
I wonder if he's still in
Y'all think I've
Dubai.
been doing? Dolph ain't dead with me. They immortalized. Might well put him in the, with Nipsey, Tupac.
Man, what you talking about?
So now that's gonna be the post conviction, right? So it goes back to the state, right? And that's what they gonna call the post conviction relief after the Supreme Court. Then he get to go back to the goddamn state court, and that's what that's what they putting in play. That's what the whole play is, because everything been bought and paid for already, right? So it wasn't never no mystery to me. I told y'all, just keep waiting for it. Straightdrop is gonna, this is how they, this is what they gotta do, because they ain't anticipate. And I'm just gonna call myself true. They didn't anticipate the love that Dolph had, but see, they made all the mistakes. They thought it was gonna be easy breezy. But that young nigga ain't eat the cheese. He too young to know how to do that.
Cornelius.
Right? Even in Straightdrop. Look at Golan.
He ain't that
You know
young.
what I'm saying? They be playing. You know what I'm saying? Look at Man and Walk. Man, this shit, they play been in motion from the get-go. So that's the beginning of the story. So we ain't talking about feelings. So let me start over. If you got life, if you got found guilty in state court, your first line of defense is to go to the Court of Criminal Appeal, which I showed y'all that paperwork. Man, that shit ain't never matter to me. I mean, that's not even another day. It's been a big play. Then so then after he got denied, like we ain't know, we already knew. Got some really big dreams and a really big team, and I got y'all too. Supreme Court, they don't play that shit. Man, all that shit 99.9 denied. So I might well say that's it next there, right? But see, watch the play. This was
What's the play?
Then after the Supreme Court denies his ass, like the Criminal Court of Appeals denied his ass, here's go with what I've been trying to tell y'all the whole time. He didn't eat the cheese. I'm telling y'all why. Because after the Supreme Court denies his ass, he just buying time. It's expected. And then after that, guess what? Now he go back to the trial court. And that's when y'all gonna see what the fuck I be talking about. So
We gotta wait till the Supreme Court.
On that shit, and that's gonna explain more, Roy. That's gonna explain why everybody that had something to do with Govan, Manny Roy, Lee Coffey got moved around the board. Man, come on. 30 years if it's a blood contract. Man, come on, bro. Ella Munson's in Memphis. Shelby County, weak as hell. I don't just be calling male power too, you know? Selling us out and shit. I'm talking about the people every motherfucking day.
But you can't hide who you is.
Right? I'm talking about the people every day. Like the gun law they've had 2 years before.
It is what it is.
Long live dog.
Motherfucker feel uncomfortable, but it's on them. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you can't hide who you is because you want to looking out for somebody else's feelings. No, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Dang. Dang.
Motherfucker feel uncomfortable, but it's on them. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you can't hide who you is because you want to looking out for somebody else's feelings. No, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
It is what it is. Oh my goodness.
Motherfucker feel uncomfortable, but it's on them. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you can't hide who you is. Whatever the fuck you trying.
I'm not gonna do that. That's
You see, and all the goddamn smashing grabs and shit. You see how they came? You see how they? When I used to tell y'all, so now all of a sudden, two and a half years ago, right? Just for this shit, that shit premeditated. Man, I just be making means of this shit. Back to the trial court. And
back to the trial court.
What the fuck I be talking about? So that ain't. I'm just updating y'all on that shit, and that's gonna explain more, Roy. That's gonna explain why everybody that had something to do with Govan, Manny Aurora, Lee Coffey got moved around the board. Man, come on. 30 years if it's a blood contract. Man, come on, bro. Ella Munster's in Memphis. Shelby County, weak as hell. I'm just be calling male power too, you know? Selling us out and shit. I'm talking about the people every motherfucking day.
Hayes Wise, learn.
Like the gun law they've had
Leader.
2 years before this shit.
Hey.
And all the goddamn smashing grabs and shit. You see how they came? You see how they? When I used to tell y'all. So now all of a sudden, two and a half years ago, right? Just for this shit, that shit premeditated. Man, I just be making means of this shit. What's up like that? So now all of a sudden, all you motherfucking felons, convicted felons, they told y'all that y'all can carry guns. Babies in diapers, women and shit, smashing girls. Boy, that's a setup. They knew where to find y'all ass at.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, 100.
That's it. Hey, y'all forgot that. Y'all convicted felon, my nigga. And this is where we at. So look around the board and tell me what's going on. The police chief, C.J. Davis, got fired in fucking Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Don't y'all see the connection about ATL? And y'all forget about the pipeline? I said this shit ain't no fucking New Jack City, but it's bigger than Nino Brown. And that's what y'all gonna see. So blog about this shit. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all one last time. If you got two eyes, like I got glasses on, when I take my glasses off, I still can see. Because I can use my index finger, not point at you, touch my belly button, and activate my third eye.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. We got to come back tonight. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about no third eye, but I kind of need to hear this.
Well, YouTube family,
Let's hear this one.
Well, YouTube family.
Shout out to Smoke.
There's a lot of things going in these YouTube streets. Before I show you the highlights and the videos, let me just tell you. Another man got indicted again, and in being involved in this YoungDolpH case, but he got indicted for the Covington shooting, We're gonna break that down all the way. But first thing I need y'all to do before we release this story, I need y'all to go ahead and smash that like button, hit that notification button, and come rock out with I Smoke Hip Hop Live. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back from vacation. No more breaks until the next year's summer. But let's start it with that FBG Duck intro. To the Young Dolph shootings, and we told, without further ado, the Young Dolph case gets a little bit more brazier. It gets a little bit more wild. Now, a man that was indicted in a woman's fatal shooting, you guys know about
Anita
that
Wilson.
already. Well, his car was linked
And
to
Darnisha.
the Young Dolph shootings, and we told you guys this already in the beginning of, I think, the earlier year of January and February. We broke it how these vehicles was already linked to other substantial evidence in the case. Now, if you guys don't know what's going, this man on your screen, Teron Ingram.
All right, you guys. Well, I can tell you that this young lady
before I even
is
get
my
started, I'm gonna let the news itself speak for him. So without further ado, let's let the news talk away.
4-year-old Trayon Ingram has been indicted for a murder in Covington last November. At the time of the brutal shooting, police
Can
believe
y'all
he was in
hear?
a white
Let's see why I
Mercedes.
can't
The
hear.
same month, about an hour away, Memphis rapper YOUNGDOLPH was murdered.
Can y'all
After
hear?
his death, Memphis police releasing this picture of this white Mercedes, believed to be the getaway car in his shooting. Back in November, Covington police released this statement to WREG about the car. We also feel confident that the vehicle used in the shooting of YOUNGDOLPH was also used in our shooting. We are working closely with the Memphis Police Department and other agencies. Tonight, the department's new police chief will only say this.
Oh my God.
Vehicle that was involved in this case was a stolen.
The news itself speak for him. So without further ado, let's let the news talk away.
4-year-old Trayon Ingram has been indicted for a murder in Covington last November. At the time of the brutal shooting, police believe he was in a white Mercedes. The same month, about an hour away, Memphis rapper YOUNGDOLPH was murdered. After his death, Memphis police releasing this picture of this white Mercedes, believed to be the getaway
yeah.
car in his shooting. Back in November, Covington police released this statement to WREG about the car. We also feel confident that the vehicle used in the shooting of YOUNGDOLPH was also used in our shooting. We are working closely with the Memphis Police Department and other agencies. The same month, about an hour away, Memphis rapper YOUNGDOLPH was murdered. After his death, Memphis police releasing this picture of this white Mercedes, believed to be the getaway car in his shooting. Back in November, Covington police released this statement to WREG about the car. We also feel confident that the vehicle used in the shooting of YOUNGDOLPH was also used in our shooting. We are working closely with the Memphis Police Department and other agencies. Tonight, the department's new police chief will only say
This vehicle that was involved in this case was a stolen vehicle out of Memphis.
In January, we tracked down the owner of the white Mercedes. She told me at the time her relative had been borrowing the car, and she was carjacked at an East Memphis gas station.
So what I had said a long time ago.
Jimmy Chambers, a gang investigator who has also worked with youth for decades, says when a car is stolen...
Now, the woman you heard speaking, we'll go back to the news report and we'll break it down even more. Now, the woman you heard speaking was the witness that we released when everybody was having a lot of hoopla and basically guesstimating what happened to Dolph. I was actually doing real journalism. We covered this woman as far as we didn't get her name at the time, and then I had to look for it. The news got it. I think they used one of my stories in November. This woman was carjacked like a couple of days prior to Dolph being killed. The woman got chased down, and I think one of her friends even got shot. I'm not mistaken. I gotta go back to that report. But I was trying to tell you how much more suspects are going to start being charged. A lot of people didn't understand it was evidence situations that was not substantial enough, and then lack of evidence in the Dolph case too. But they had that. They're waiting for things like DNA and witness corroboration. This white Benz that you're watching here on your screen brought a lot of demise for a lot of dudes who are behind bars right now. Straightdrop being the famous one, but you know about all the other folks, and you even know about Mr. Barnett, who's still allegedly on the run. This thing, man, look, they're playing a duck, duck, goose game right now, and they're playing chess. I'm not saying that they have all the evidence they need, but they have enough evidence to put pressure on folks in them to get the squealing, talking, or AKA, quote-unquote, snitching. let's get back to the actual news topic.
It's likely to be tied to other crimes.
That's actually a norm when you go out and steal cars. They use those cars to do various crimes, from petty theft to those carjacking. Then they dump those cars and then they get another car.
As for Ingram, we went to his last listed North Memphis address to see if someone could speak to us about him.
The police came by here at the beginning of March.
A woman who came to the door said she recently moved to the home, but officers had been looking for him too.
They came, walking. They had the back covered, the side covered.
We told her about his charges and the white Mercedes.
I just don't have no words. It's kind of scary, but knowing that this was his last address, because anyone could be looking for him, and I come here due to the fact that this is his last address.
Stephanie Gregg, Ingram is currently in DeSoto County Jail tonight. Now, we didn't reach out to MPD to see if they could tell us anything about that.
DeSoto County.
They told
Ain't
us
that
all
where
available
old boy was
information
from?
has been released.
He ain't lying about them rats.
It's more news report on the situation. I'm gonna wait before I play that because I wanted to get into the situation, man. You can see that the man here who's been indicted in the lady's vehicle shooting and a drilling situation, he's got indicted on that. But it looks like the DA is gonna bring charges for him and on him with the YOUNGDOLPH shooting. Now, according to Covington Police CPD, officers discovered a vehicle with two people inside who had been shot multiple times. So I am correct. The lady has been shot and her friend been shot as well. Now, the victims had just left the football game at the Covington High School when a white Mercedes blocked the intersection. This one we're talking about the high school shooting. Two different ones. You have the ones with the kids involved, and then you had this vehicle here. Now, two suspects, and basically they were masked up. If you guys are paying attention, they were masked up and ready to do bodily injury and harm in the situation. Now, the car that we know that was used, the department said on Tuesday, Police Chief Donna Turner would not say that the vehicle was involved in the case was stolen out of Memphis. But in January of this year, which I already explained to y'all, they tracked down the owner of the white Mercedes, and she told us the time of her relative has been borrowing the car when she was and ready to do bodily injury and harm in the situation. Now, the car that we know that was used, the department said on Tuesday, Police Chief Donna Turner would not say that the vehicle was involved in the case was stolen out of Memphis. But in January of this year, which I already explained to y'all, they tracked down the owner of the white Mercedes, and she told us the time of her relative has been borrowing the car when she was carjacked at an East Memphis gas station, that is. Now, I'm going to put the links in the description box so you guys can go to that earlier video that I did a few months ago so you can look and get engaged with it. Now, Jimmy Chambers, the gang investigator who you've seen speaking, he's all well too familiar with this. I'm going to play another situation of a news clip that goes a little bit further and deeper on the situation.
Let's hear it.
Well, right now, Covington police detectives, they say they have indicted at least one of the two suspects in the November 12th shooting in Covington. And
Was it JoJo
interesting,
Splat
that
with
November
him?
12th shooting in Covington involved that white Mercedes.
They might as well not wear masks. Somebody going to identify them anyway.
Now, the man they have indicted is Trayon Ingram. And during their investigation, they say Trayon Ingram was taken into custody at the DeSoto County Detention Center in Mississippi on unrelated charges and later was found to be in possession of the weapon connected to the shooting in Covington. Now, detectives worked jointly with DeSoto County and the Memphis Police Department investigations teams to gather evidence in the case. Both victims in the Covington shooting shot multiple times, and again, sadly, one woman did lose her life on the scene. Now, that white Mercedes-Benz used in the killing of YOUNGDOLPH, again, is the same car used in this November 12th Covington shooting. At this point in time, we are asking if Trayon Ingram, is also involved in the killing of YOUNGDOLPH. Is he connected? We learned early on a lot of people were involved with the stealing of that car between the time it was stolen, actually carjacked, from a Kirby gas station in early November of 2021.
So he is I can't remember. He Trulo, right? Because he was with Straightdrop. a
dropped
walk
off.
down
Of
game.
course, we're going to continue to stay on top of this story all throughout the day here on Fox 13 News. Brand new information, so stay with us. Reporting live this morning here at 201, Jeremy Pierre, Fox 13.
Man, Jeremy Pierre be on it though, but it's just been a lot of up and down in the whirlwind with this situation, and people been bringing it up. As far as detectives believe the shooting was gang related and targeted as well, man. Police said last year they already confirmed the Mercedes was used in that same situation, and during the investigation, suspect Taryn Ingram, 22, was taken in custody at the DeSoto County Detention Center in Mississippi, the SILP, on unrelated charges. You know what I'm saying? He was later found to be in a possession of weapons connected to the shooting as well. So it was a lot of crazy situations being tied to it, but they were just playing chess with the situation. Now, Terran was later
Trayon.
placed on a detainer in Mississippi, and a $1 million bond has been set in Tippin County case as well. So it's enough. Things are kind of getting out of here. Now, on a later news, Straightdrop is asking to be released and transferred to a new institution, and we'll get on that with a separate video, so y'all pay attention to a separate video we're going to do on that as well. It's just a lot. I keep telling y'all, Straightdrop wasn't this mastermind, and quit doing that to people's cases. When you do that, you kind of mess it up for whoever has to do
Hey,
with
Joe.
the situation. But look, man, on a later note, I'm your guy, DJ Bless One. Thank you for watching this video, man. I need y'all to smash that like button, hit that notification bell.
Oh, Lord, I hope they talking. Because word on the street was they was talking. JoJo Splat, Trayon was supposed to, because Trayon was on Go Band. And for some reason, he didn't show. Y'all remember that? Yeah, hold on. Let me get to OG Shakari. Let me see. City Nash. Let me see some stuff. Oh, I pray. Lord, I pray that there's something in the water. And they can bring this back to life. Let me see what. Yeah, I just don't want to hear all of that foolishness. Let's listen.
Said was, I'm not going to start with the evidence. I'm going to start with something else first.
Shout out to City Nash.
I'm not going to start with the evidence. I'm going to start with something else first. Man, let's get on with it.
Touch on the facts briefly of what occurred. This is a murder case that involved a conspiracy and a murder incident. And just touching on the facts of the murder incident, this case involves ADOLPH Thornton, who is a well-known music artist, who was shot by two individuals at a cookie store in Memphis. This shooting was captured on video, both outside the store and inside the store, and showed a full depiction of what occurred.
So this is the Justin Johnson murder appeal, which actually we're going to deep dive into why it was actually denied, because the tale of it all is very telling. But before we do, hit that QR code and tap that link in the description. Get paid. In this goddamn crazy Wednesday, you gonna get about $500 if you keep on playing every day. That's a little extra income that you all want. QR code and link in the description. That's free cash, $5 for setting that as soon as you will start that app on your phone and get to playing. Number 2 in the Apple Store. Number 3 in the Google Play Store. For a reason, read the reviews before you download. Then get in, get to gaming, get to playing, and get to getting paid. Sounds good? Good. So it gets denied, but it's kind of interesting as to how it all goes. Roll it.
It seems to contradict some of what I believe the court ruled on. I believe the court made a finding that that his body was in essence in the photo exhibit 35 how it was at the crime scene, but in the video it showed the defendant falling on his stomach halfway out the window, and in the photograph that was introduced that we're making this issue on, he's on his belly completely inside the store.
Was that explained in the proof?
I think there may have been, and I was looking for this on the record and couldn't get to this, that a paramedic or his brother was present with him, may have moved the body, and that might explain that, and I do need to touch on that. But as far as just giving an accurate depiction of the actual murder, the video is much more probative. It shows the body, if the body was moved by a paramedic or was moved by his brother, the video shows a more accurate depiction of where his body fell. And, the video shows how many gunshots were fired and does it in a much less unfairly prejudicial way.
Explain that to me, why the video that shows all the things you referred to is much less prejudicial than a single photo.
So the video, in the video, of the exterior video of Exhibit 5, you'd see the victim be shot and fall through the window. You don't get the close-ups of the wounds, and the wounds I felt were very gruesome and gory. When I think of what was missing in the photo, in the video that you get in the photo is kind of gore. He has in the Exhibit 35, the photograph, he has a large, pronounced gunshot wound to the cheek. He has a entrance, what appears to be an entrance and exit wound on his wrist. His torso is very shot. It's very blood-soaked. Just to be frank, it was a very disturbing photo. Whereas in the video, he falls over, as I said, stomach first through the window. There isn't as much bleeding because of how quickly the incident occurs. I don't remember seeing any large exit wounds, any exposed flesh, all of which you get in Exhibit 35.
I'm looking at 35, and I also see evidence markers on the ground. I see 51 and 52, and then partially I can see it looks like 53. I believe the prosecutor below mentioned shell casings. I don't want to speculate, but do we have any indication what these evidence markers were and what their significance was?
It could possibly be shell casings. I don't remember at this time what those were. There were a lot of shell casings because there were 2 guns used and a lot of rounds were fired. I don't remember what those placards specifically.
Would that be important if there were shell casings inside where the victim's body was?
Yes, and they may have admitted photos of where the shell casings were with the victim's body removed. I see that in a lot of cases. I don't remember if that occurred in this case. I think what is really important is if the victim's body was moved, which just looking between Exhibit 5 and Exhibit 35, it did seem that at some point it would have had to be moved by a paramedic or his brother trying to render first aid. Then the probative value, I just don't see it.
So no real facts, just shit like this.
He doesn't get to sit with his attorney. There's going to be a barrier in communication. And anytime he wants to speak to his attorney or suggest a question for a witness, the attorney has to turn his head away from the witness. And I think defense counsel touched on this in the record.
That follows up and get destroyed by shit like this.
Is that fairly common practice in Shelby County, or was that unique to this case?
It's somewhat common.
So, make your final case, because I'm about sick of you.
Was the court, or firstly the state, did not charge Hernandez Govan, who was the alleged sort of centerfold of the conspiracy in this case. The court issued a missing witness instruction that would allow the jury to potentially draw an inference that his testimony may not have been favorable to the state. The state, in their closing argument, sort of turned this on its head, and instead of addressing on the missing witness instruction, made this a Fifth Amendment issue, pretty much insinuating Mr. Govan would have certainly asserted his Fifth Amendment right not to testify, and sort of drew the jury's attention away from that missing witness instruction. Importantly, too, there was no proof in the trial that Govan would have asserted his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. He very well could have testified. He did have a proffer agreement in place with the state.
He what?
And had spoken to them freely previously. They also called two witnesses to this case.
Did he say he didn't or he did?
The other Mr. Johnson and Cornelius Smith, and there was one other witness, I believe, that was facing separate criminal charges who was called as a witness. In their closing argument, sort of turned this on its head, and instead of addressing on the missing witness instruction, made this a Fifth Amendment issue, pretty much insinuating Mr. Govan would have certainly asserted his Fifth Amendment right not to testify, and sort of drew the jury's attention away from that missing witness instruction. Importantly, too, there was no proof in the trial that Govan would have asserted his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. He very well could have testified. He did have a proffer agreement in place with the state. And had
Is he saying he didn't?
Previously. They also called two witnesses to the this case who were co-defendants. The other Mr. Johnson and Cornelius Smith, and there was one other witness, I believe, that was facing separate criminal charges who was called as a witness. In light of the circumstances, I think this is totally improper. Witness instruction. Importantly, too, there was no proof in the trial that Govan would have asserted his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. He very well could have testified. He did have a proffer agreement in place with the state, and had spoken to them freely previously. They also called two witnesses to this case who were co-defendants. The other Mr. Johnson and Cornelius Smith, and there was one other witness, I believe, that was facing separate criminal charges who was called as a witness. In light of the circumstances, I think this is totally improper. That this is proof that's not in the record. It contradicts what the state's been doing throughout the legal proceeding. The court didn't take any curative measures. I probably should take a step back. Defense counsel did not object to this. We're addressing this under plain error.
So when did the state make this argument? Was that in their initial or their rebuttal closing argument? I'm just curious.
I'm not sure. I believe it was in the initial. I don't think I put that in my brief.
Also, I haven't looked at the whole record, but did the trial court instruct the jury before or after they argued? What I'm getting at, was the prosecutor responding to this, or was it anticipatory response?
I believe it was responding, and I could be wrong. I believe the court would have instructed potentially prior to closing. That was my recollection of it, but I could be wrong about that. And I believe it was responding. I believe my recollection, like I said, I could be wrong, was that the jury had already been instructed as the missing witness, and that the court and that the prosecutor was in essence responding to something that had already been instructed.
Was he missing?
So he was a state's witness with a proffer agreement that I do not believe defense counsel called, and I do not believe the state had called.
So he had listed on the outside judge.
They had, what was that last part? I couldn't hear.
That the state had not called for the defense. Gotcha. And okay. I think the argument was he was available to the state but not available to the defense.
Why would he have been available to one and not the other? Could defense not have subpoenaed him?
They could have. I didn't do a ton of research on that issue since it wasn't instructed.
He was in custody, I guess, is my point.
He was out of custody.
He was out?
Yes.
Okay.
My understanding was he was out of custody throughout the entire legal proceeding.
Was he listed on the indictment as a witness for the state?
So I believe he was listed in the indictment as a defendant, and I could be wrong. So I believe he's on the indictment as a...
Yeah, he was a charged co-defendant.
Yes. He was charged. I thought you said earlier that he was uncharged.
He was charged, and he had a proffer agreement in place with the state.
Okay.
So he did have a proffer.
You see your minute.
Yes.
Hey,
if I could touch briefly on sufficiency, I'll keep it in like 30 seconds. My main point on sufficiency is in the brief was in regards to the conspiracy, that there had been no meeting between my client Hernandez Govan to form that conspiracy to commit the murder. I think that also may have tied into why he was not called. And if there's no further questions, I would ask the court to reverse my client's convictions.
Thank you, sir.
They couldn't flip Hernandez Govan because he would have literally had to have certain charges dropped and then became a witness. The same way like Justin Johnson's brother got did. So unless they were willing to drop the charges, and then Hernandez go over and flips, why the hell would he go in there and say anything? Nigga, I got next. That's like asking somebody who about to play basketball, and they like, yeah, I got my team over here, and you like, all right, bro, come rock with my team real quick, and then go play with your team. The whole time you're studying what the hell they gonna say. I can tell you 100% he was gonna plead the fifth. He would have went on that stand and said, I plead the fifth. What's your name? I plead the fifth. Because what do they say that's for? So that you don't put yourself in a trick bag for future shit that can be used against you. Future for this, meaning he had next. So let's get on with the prosecution side, who I'm going to say just came in, started whooping ass, and revealed something that we're going to make another video.
Prosecution, okay.
I won't even play that part. We'll make another video because something gets identified, but it deserves its own video because somebody called this a week ago, and it just got exposed as to something about something. Don't worry, though.
Lord.
Let's go.
Having practiced there, I know the deputies are very concerned of being able to intervene if there was some issue. There's that space. I know in my practice, when I've had this issue raised, the deputies are wanting to be able to intervene if there's some issue before anything can happen. And but it's not clear in this record. The defense counsel did not seek to subpoena him. To show that they had no ability to get him there. They just made the reference that I can't force him to testify. Well, neither can the state. Every defendant has a Fifth Amendment right not to testify. And the court did grant the instruction upon the defense request. The instructions were given before closing arguments. And my memory serves me that the state did not really address this issue at all in its opening close. The defense counsel addressed it at length in its close. The final issue raised by the defense was in regards to conspiracy. The defense, on my friend on the other side, focused solely on that his client did not participate in the initial meetings between Mr. Govan and Mr. Mims, who's also known as Juke. And it's confusing through the record because it doesn't mention what his real name was, Anthony Mims. And he's referred to as Big Juke or Juke throughout the entire thing. And you find out at the very end it was Anthony Mims. But Anthony Mims and Hernandez Govan were the ones that had put out the hit, $100,000. And they met with Mr. Smith, Cornelius Smith, who was the co-defendant who cooperated and accomplice testified, who were one of the shooters actually at the scene. However, if you look at Patel and the chain of conspiracy, he doesn't have to participate in every conversation. He doesn't have to participate and know exactly all the individuals involved. However, the evidence is clear about the conspiracy. So Mr. Cornelius Smith testified throughout the trial about the meetings, about being introduced to the defendant, Mr. Johnson, and by Mr. Govan, and that, I believe, were Mr. Juke, Mr. Smith, Mims, and that they met, and then subsequently to being introduced to partake in this criminal conspiracy, which they agreed to split the $100,000 and give $10,000 apiece to Mr. Govan for putting them together for this hit. Mr. Smith testified that he and the defendant met multiple times after that to discuss and plan out how to do this and when to do this. But don't leave it just on Mr. Smith. The defendant, on the night before, the day before the homicide, communicated with the next individual involved, Treon Ingram. He did not testify, but there are cell records between the defendant and Treon Ingram coordinating getting the white Mercedes that was later used in the homicide. You can actually see it on the videos, both at the homicide scene. And then you have the testimony of Mr. Kristen Garner, who testified that he was with Mr. Ingram when they delivered the car to the defendant. This is 3 a.m, the morning of the homicide, and that there was an assault rifle and pistols in the car at that time. And he testified at trial. But don't leave it on to just Mr. The Kristen Garner. The defendant's own cell phone records and the videos from crosstown apartments where the defendant lives, as well as the Valero gas station, and the defendant's cell phone records show that he was at those locations and met those when those events occurred, and that he had the white Mercedes back at crosstown apartment. But so you have those things connecting him, and the defendant even texted Hernandez Govan's street to where the Mercedes was later found to Mr. Ingram. So the connections are all there, showing circumstantially there was an agreement and that the defendant actively participated in it. Don't leave it there. Again, back to the Mr. Smith's own testimony. He testified that the defendant called him the morning of the shooting about 11:30, 12. It's in the briefs and in the record. That morning, the defendant's own cell phone showed that he called Cornelius Smith that morning, and that the defendant's own cell phone record showed that he went and picked up Cornelius Smith and drove him to the scene. All that shows a detailed level of the accord, the agreement.
What ends up happening? Well, today we get the conclusion.
Convicted of killing Memphis rapper YOUNGDOLPH has lost his appeal to overturn his 2024 guilty verdict.
Justin Johnson was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life plus 35 years. His legal team appealed.
They say he got beat up not too long ago.
Multiple errors were made during his trial. Yesterday, the Tennessee Court of Criminal Appeals upheld the lower court's decision. Johnson was one of the men who shot and killed YOUNGDOLPH in November 2021. The other gunman, Cornelius Smith, has a plea agreement under review.
The arguments were about technicality. The arguments were not about actual real evidence. The whole entire premise of the man's argument was a couple of things. The first one, YOUNGDOLPH photos were prejudicial because the video would have worked. Stupid, because that actually happens a lot. They showed the autopsy, you know what I'm saying? Same shit. All right, so you're saying that by them looking at those photos, they had to find somebody guilty and somebody is in the courtroom. Oh, Justin Johnson is sitting behind the damn counsel for him, his own lawyers. Oh, his lawyer had to turn around to hear Justin Johnson's input on questions that he should ask a witness and all of this shit. Oh, the other people who were involved in this, they already came in to testify and all this shit. Yeah, they all had deals. Justin Johnson's brother, Jamarcus, had a deal. Goddamn, what's cuz name? Cornbread had a deal.
He still got a deal.
What the hell? So when he says that shit, you already lost. You didn't argue no facts about the real case. You argued technicalities, which rarely win. Some of the technicalities have to be brazen, such as Brady violations, which means withholding evidence. Justin Johnson got a chin up, chest out. You killed YOUNGDOLPH. Suck this shit up. Spend the rest of your life in prison. Die like the hoe you is. Justin Johnson is the definition of a street bitch. Because when posed with the task to fight people when he got jumped, instead of getting your crew, he went and shot up a bowling alley. When a girl told him, you got to get the hell out, you can't have sex with me no more, he pulled a gun on her and took it from her anyways. And then shot at the house to try to scare her into doing shit. But your bitch ass decided to turn
but you never know in Memphis. Whew.
When it came for YOUNGDOLPH to be killed, to show you the third strike, which means he's a bitch, he wasn't the first one out the car. That was Cornelius Smith. So in order for him to kind of look good, oh, he decided he wanted to run out afterwards and then start shooting. Yeah, 3 strikes and you out.
At OUT?
Don't drop the soap. Subscribe to that bell, stay notified, and share the...
Hold on, I think he have... Hold on. Okay.
County Circuit Court, 1801. When YOUNGDOLPH was killed, there was a white car that had been used already in a prior shooting. So I want y'all to pay attention to this date. Event date and time, January 14, 2026 at 9 a.m. Event status, scheduled. Event type, jury trial. Event location, Tipton County Circuit Court, 1801 South College Street. Suite 102, Covington, Tennessee 38019. In this date, February 12, 2026, said deposition. Mitchell, Jennifer, hearing time 9 a.m. Result reset to when? March 30th, 2026, said deposition. Michelle, Jennifer. All right. Why are these dates so interesting? I want to jump back 3 years ago for y'all, just so we can catch up all the speed. Let's go.
Man has been indicted in the murder of a Covington woman last fall. As WREG's Bria Jones explains, her children believe the possible connection to the slaying of young Dolph is helping solve the case.
Tied to crimes in Shelby, Tipton, and DeSoto counties, 23-year-old Trayon DeMarco Ingram is now charged in a fatal double shooting in Covington. In court documents uncovered by WREG Monday, we learned Ingram has been indicted by a grand jury for killing Anita Wilson and critically injuring Darnisha McLeod last November.
How does that feel to have the officially someone indicted in your mother's killing?
It feels good for her to happen today because it ain't a murder. It's like it was a kill for her.
Police say the two women were ambushed here at the intersection of College and Church as they were leaving a high school football game. The shooting happening next to the police department. Police Chief Donna Turner said the targeted attack is gang-related.
You definitely are sending a message when you jump out of a car at an intersection and shoot up another car with multiple rounds.
Detectives say two masked suspects jumped out of a stolen white two-door Mercedes-Benz.
February 12, 2026, said deposition. Catch up all the speed. Let's go.
Man has been indicted in the murder of a Covington woman last fall. As WREG's Bria Jones explains, her children believe the possible connection to the slaying of young Dolph is helping solve the case.
Tied to crimes in Shelby, Tipton, and DeSoto counties, 23-year-old Trayon DeMarco Ingram is now charged in a fatal double shooting in Covington. In court documents uncovered by WREG Monday, we learned Ingram has been indicted by a grand jury for killing Anita Wilson and critically injuring Darnisha McLeod last November.
How does that feel to have the officially someone indicted in your mother's killing?
It feels good for her to happen today because it ain't a murder. It's like it was a kill for her.
Police say the two women were ambushed here at the intersection of College and Church as they were leaving a high school football game. The shooting happening next to the police department. Police Chief Donna Turner says the targeted attack is gang-related.
You definitely are sending a message when you jump out of a car at an intersection and shoot up another car with multiple rounds.
Detectives say two masked suspects jumped out of a stolen white two-door Mercedes-Benz carrying large assault rifles. And police say that same stolen car is possibly linked to the murder of young Dolph that occurred days later.
I can say this vehicle that was involved in this case was a stolen vehicle out of Memphis.
Turner says the car was later recovered in South Memphis. Wilson's family believes she was not the intended target.
I definitely feel like the situation with Dolph, brought light to my mom's situation. Definitely. Because of the car.
While one suspect is still on the run, Wilson's children are celebrating this victory of Ingram's first-degree murder and attempted murder charges on what would have been her 58th birthday.
Keep praying for us because it's hard.
In Covington, Bria Jones, WREG News, Channel 3.
Free cash or QR code? QR code, link in the description. Link in the description, QR code. Hey!
That's the sound of an American oil company. We're hard at work. Want to be a part of it? Listen up.
Hello, my name is Adam.
All right, Nash. The shooting in Covington linked to young Dolph. They got their person and all that stuff. But what the hell does that actually matter? Well, I'm going to play two videos back to back because apparently they coincide. Your boy Cornbread is out here solving murders and stuff for the police. Because certain things didn't make sense, but now they make sense.
Okay, well, hold on. What did he say?
Also top in the news at 4 today, the fate of the last defendant in the killing of young Dolph case will soon be revealed. Cornelius Smith appeared before a judge this morning ready to enter a plea deal. However, That did not happen. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Alex Coleman.
And I'm April Thompson. WREG's Kwamitra Wilburn explains what's next for the accused gunman.
Cornelius Smith, the man accused in the 2021 killing of Adolph Thornton Jr., also known as Young Dolph, has agreed to a plea deal. However, details of the plea have not been revealed. Thursday morning, he was supposed to enter his guilty plea in court, but his attorney says some technicalities prevent them from moving forward.
We were intending to go ahead and enter a guilty plea today when we went into court. There are a few details that we need to fix and iron out before we can do that. So we asked the judge for some additional time to complete those details.
His defense attorney did not reveal what those details are, but prosecutor Paul Hagerman says it regards housing.
The attorneys have to get with the Department of Corrections with regard to some technicalities with regard to his confinement.
Smith has openly admitted to his
Reflections.
role in the killing. He testified in both Justin Johnson's and Hernandez Govan's trials. Smith claims that he and Johnson were hired by Govan to carry out the hit. He admitted to shooting and killing Dolph, who was visiting a cookie shop in South Memphis on November 17, 2021. Smith stated that he was supposed to receive $40,000 following the death of young Dolph, but instead he got $500 in the letter. Johnson was ultimately found guilty of Dolph's killing, while Govan was acquitted of all charges.
You know, it never ends for the family. This has been a long process to try to hold these people responsible. This will be the very last part of it.
Reporting for your news leader, Kwamitra Wilburn,
For the state.
WREG News, Channel 3.
And Smith's plea date has been reset to March 30th.
Trayon Ingram was supposed to go to jury trial in January, but so I had to make that call. Found out he's going to court. His trial begins March the 31st. Guess what's
Thank
significant
you for the
about
party
that?
hat and the
Cornelius set the plea
GLHF makeup brushes.
on the day before. Now this is the second time, because I showed y'all last time Trayon Ingram was supposed to go to trial. Cornelius waited, and then now he sees the day before again. So I did a little bit more digging. Then I made another call.
Thank
in
you
a
for
different
helping me
department
reach my goal
and found out
for the first hour.
Straightdrop name coming up. Trayon Ingram basically been trying to cop a plea by telling everything he know about
Told you.
Straightdrop, the gang, might be a little bit of Hernandez Govan.
Yes.
And all kind of shit. So the feds is really active because now I'm trying to remember the feds raided that same area right down the street at Moneybag Yo's, two federal ass, and picked up Head and J Money, the founder of Trula.
Let's go. Let me hear that again.
Drop, the gang, might be a little bit of Hernandez, a little bit more digging. Then I made another call in a different department and found out Straightdrop name coming up. Trayon Ingram basically been trying to cop a plea by telling everything he know about Straightdrop, the gang, might be a little bit of Hernandez Govan in there, and all kind of shit. So the feds is really active because now I'm trying to remember the feds raided that same area right down the street at Moneybag Yo's, two federal ass, and picked up Head and J Money, the founder of Trula, and a whole lot of more shit. And then you see that infamous picture they posted bomb. So that is once again a backdoor pipeline. And so this shit, man, the investigation is going on for real. So I ain't gonna mumble too much. I just came to bring that to y'all.
Yes.
People dream of a smile.
Good
that's not only
news. That's
functional,
good news
but
for
also
me.
Beautiful. A smile that allows you to feel confident in any situation.
That's what I've been
So
thinking.
if Cornbread can get Trayon Ingram, Justin Johnson on out of here, and if he can put together a string of more shootings and all this crap, bruh, he probably gonna get 15 years. If he out here playing Crime Stoppers,
Cause that's why I kept saying he's still
Crime
out.
Solvers,
I mean,
all this shit
I think he's still working.
for Shelby County
Yeah, reflection.
in Covington. Bruh, I'm telling you right now, I don't see how you don't get 15. See, people want to play stupid, and shout out to True Results. Y'all Give that man his credit. He did a deeper
I-
dive video that I definitely
I
would like y'all to
tried
go
to.
check out if you can, if you can, if you can. But if he out here doing all of this stuff, he's an asset. The question is this: where's the justice for Young Dolph's family?
Yeah.
How do we spin this to the family?
They still haven't sentenced him on the 30th.
Just curious. Y'all let Hernandez Govan did some shit. We found out the truth about
And
the case.
JoJo Splat
for 2
is
months
topping.
before they did this shit. Kind of weird to say you mastermind some shit, but I think the true mastermind is Cornbread.
Oh no.
This spreads a very negative message that if
He
me
worked for
and some
because
homies
Cornbread didn't
go
know
out, or me and a
Dolph or
particular
the other
person go out,
guys.
kill somebody, I turn around, I tell on him, I tell on a couple of murders and all this shit and everything, I'm good to go. It'll be 15 years, bruh. I'm not sorry for what I'm about to say. He need life. I don't give a damn that he snitched. From what they already was saying, from what they
You
already
don't
was
want
putting
Govan to
out,
be caught
what they
up
was
in it.
already doing, what we seen in the trial. They didn't need his damn testimony. The testimony
They
only
did,
worked
but he had
when
proffers.
he entered who? Big Jook. When he entered Hernandez Govan. That's where the mastermind part actually works. It ain't nothing to do with them basically getting Justin Johnson out of here. We watched the trial. They was already done. So the true question is did crime actually pay?
Yeah, but with Straightdrop, he in his proffer he couldn't mention True Mafia. True Mafia never came up. True Mafia, Natreon Ingram's name came up, and he was supposed to testify, but as far as the game, it didn't come up. That was one of the 9 of the 11 things that he got thrown out because of the proffer. That's why I was like, what? Hold on.
I don't know, bruh. Some about this shit just seem wrong, bruh. Some about this shit just seem all type of wrong.
Yeah,
and this man
because
is able to escape the clutches of justice and able to
the middle
kill.
person that needs to
He
be
had a
locked
hand
up
in
is
killing Young Dolph. Young Dolph took a
Govan.
shit ton of bullets. His bullets as well.
Oh yeah, man. Oh.
And it's not like Cornbread wasn't out there spinning. He actually was.
Thank you, baby.
So,
but that was his first
I don't know,
actual
bro.
spin.
This shit right here, this throw
It was definitely wasn't Straightdrop.
Smoothly
That's
off,
why
because
his name
in
is
one
Straightdrop.
instance, he ain't doing this shit because it's the right thing to do. He's doing it for selfish reasons and selfish gains.
That's
This
what
was
they always do.
drug addict.
Ain't that why a Govan had proffers? Yeah. Stop that. Before I listen to Shakario, let me see what Tamara was talking about. Hold on. Real talk. Let me listen. I haven't listened to her in
If you
forever.
start to make too much racket, what they
The real starts here. The real starts here. Don't filter no fear. Truth in the mind.
Yeah, you guys, on this evening, I wanted to talk about Justin Straightdrop Johnson, okay? It looks like Justin Straightdrop Johnson is sitting in jail reflecting on
Flashbacks of the
what he
times
did.
you had.
And I'm pretty sure it didn't just
Some
happen, but I'm sure he
neighborhood
regrets what he
sad.
did. He sees how he was played,
Played.
okay? And
Shout out to Real Talk.
he's making posts about it, okay? I think I said the other day, okay? It might have been the last time I was on, the last live I did.
Go
You all
Band
gotta
needs
be
to at least
crazy if
30
you
years.
think
I
Straight
agree.
Drop, who
If not
was
more,
ready to
he got
tell
a
on
bunch of
certain people
bodies.
before, is gonna sit in jail and rot, okay? He's gonna exhaust his appeals, and then that's when he's gonna play ball, okay? For some reason, I think he knows there is no hope, but he's gonna exhaust those appeals, and then that's once he get the Supreme Courts or the appellate courts uphold what the state courts, the verdicts. I mean, he's gonna sit there and go. I think it's already hitting him. Once he get the opportunity to see a lot of people are out and moving on with their life, and they really ain't thinking about him. Okay, I'm sure the sensationalism of the verdict has happened, and it has kind of died down, and now all of the attention is more so on Hernandez Govan, the attention that Straight Drop had wanted. So I want to. He actually made a post, okay, and he was thinking about Gino. Okay, Gino was one of his best friends that lost his life. Well, actually, allegedly, I believe I did read that they were in a shootout and Straight Drop made a mistake and hit him himself or something like that. I don't know if it was friendly fire or what. Okay. But he says, "Happy birthday to my heavenly brother. It's been almost 10 years and I still think about you every day. It still hurts me seeing you take your last breath. I'll never get it out of my head. Sometimes I wish I could swap you out, G." So this is a person that is really, really feels like he doesn't have anything to live for, okay? But he said that before. He's rapped that in songs, how he missed Gino and he wished he could be with them. This is a man that has been in a downward spiral for a very, very long time, which is why it was easy for them to trick him like they did, because he was never going to be a star, right? They was going to put him on, put some videos out, give him a little money, but they knew he wasn't going to be a star, right? And what I've always said, what these young men need to understand, once you do the crime, I mean, and they choose not to pay you, or, what you're going to do, go to the police and tell them you committed the crime, they know that you're not going to do that, okay? Or they don't hold their word. You can't go to the police and tell it, because you were the damn fool that committed the crime, right? And so they know that. But if you start to make too much racket, what they do is they go ahead and get you on up out of here themselves, right? And he says, sometimes I wish I could swap you out, G, meaning he wished that it was him that was no longer with us. These ninjas never had my back like you, okay? So he's throwing out that into the atmosphere. He's, he's reflecting. He knows that he was used. He knows that, okay? He says, whatever I went through, you went through, vice versa. I went through, you went through, vice versa. I'm almost glad you ain't here to experience the shit I have. All the fake love and betrayal. Now, I'm sure he's throwing it out at somebody, some people he gets the opportunity to see, with him being on the inside and some of these people being on the outside, how they probably running with the people that betrayed him, okay? I mean, they can't use him anymore. He wanted that name of being a hitman, okay? And so I'm sure, you know, some of these the gang leaders, whoever the leaders are, some of these older dudes, they knew that they could make money off of subcontracting him, okay? They call themselves
Thank
have
you for
connects. I got a young a
thank you
YN
for
that's crashing out, and you give me the money, I throw him a little bread, and that's how it is, you know. I used to talk to this guy, and he said that when he was younger, he said they were young. They were supposed to be at Hillcrest. They was like at, you know, Hillcrest has a junior high school, or did in a high school. And he said they were supposed to be at the junior high school, but he says that they hung around the Pepper Tree Apartments. He said, and the older dudes, they would be casing out the apartments, and when people would go to work, they would pay them to go in and steal all their stuff. He said we would go in, basically move everything out of these people's houses, like steal everything, burglarize the house, get everything, take it to them, and they gave us $20. And we thought that was a lot of money. You know, that's what they do to the ones that's dirt poor. But you know, he had to been a damn fool to do it for $20 back then, because his ass is old. Okay. Was a lot of money to them. It's a lot of money to a bunch of young boys that's 12 and 13 years old that don't have no money. They were young and stupid, and now he just old. He an old fool now, okay? But I like him, okay? He a cool person, just a fool. Anyways, he says, I'm glad you ain't here to experience the shit I have. All the fake love, betrayal, and pain that come with being in streets. You would tweet on God. I know right now, boy, you will be millionaire bully. My love for you won't never die. You one of them ones, little bruh. I got mine. Forever. I ain't let up yet, and never will. So what he gonna do? When he say he ain't let up yet, what can he do in jail? Okay, if he ain't let up yet, the only win he got is the dude. He don't get no second wins. That's his reality. Being in that cell, thinking about everything that he did that was stupid. Okay, and he was an easy target, because anytime a man essay a woman, that's not a mentally stable man. Okay, he was a teenager, so that's something. You know, he was a little thrown anyway.
And that was Kenny Money.
And so the older dudes used him. Your Gotti is still out. Okay, unfortunately, Juke lost his life. Quick is out. Some of them other ones that sent him out is out. Devin Burns is out. Whoever else he was running with.
I wonder how she
in that
feel about
endless clique, hoping that he was going to get a deal with Moneybag. Moneybag is still out. Moneybag cut him off quick. Didn't even want. And he still hadn't passed the smell test. Didn't even want his artists referencing him at all. After this boy had ran with them, and he knew what he was being groomed for, and I believe somehow was a part of it.
I need to do a little research on little Papa.
He's gonna turn, okay? The only reason why he hasn't turned yet is because I think with this appellate court, he has appellate court. Once they deny it, they uphold the state court. What will happen is he could take it to the Supreme Court, which he'll be an old man when they get there, okay, when they finally hear it. And then they're going to deny it. And then Yo Gotti and them might be somewhere rotten and dead, okay, but if he's going to wait for the Supreme Court. But I don't think that that's going to happen, okay? He sees that he has been used, but he made this choice because he thought that he could come up off of the back of another man, Okay, he wanted the fame, and he made a conscious decision to go and ruin another man's life because of his jealousy. Okay,
Absolutely.
that's exactly what it was. You
Because
know,
he
I
didn't
keep thinking about
sign
that
him.
guy that used to come into my chat that says that you know, Dolph knew he had Straightdrop around him. He should have signed him. But see, that's the mentality of a lot of black people. He never would have said that to Clive Davis, right? Because Clive Davis had a lot of people around him that he didn't sign, and he signed they ops, and they worked together. They dare not say anything to a white man, okay? But he thought that he had the right to say
Yeah, he wasn't that
organization
good
that
to me.
YOUNGDOLPH built, that he was supposed to sign Straightdrop, and if he didn't, he deserved to die. That was his organization. That was his record label.
Right.
And he could sign who he want to, but with black people, they want to destroy other black people if they don't do what they say do.
Right.
Okay? And so what they did was they led this young man into a burning house. He had to do it himself, but he had a bunch of old coons that helped him to do it, and they're gonna reap too. These OGs that was
Burning
misguiding
how?
them because they had a jealousy for Dolph with they no good asses, because they was jealous of what he had. They helped to lead this throwed young man that was already misguided into a burning house. But God says, when I get you back for what you did, you're gonna witness it. They are
What burning
going.
how? What happened? Hold on. Where is it?
What can I say?
Hold
We're
on,
too
I thought I
attached to
found it.
Israel. It's an albatross around our neck as John.
Hold on, y'all. Where is it? Y'all, what happened to it? Hold on. I can't believe I can't find it. Hold on. Is this it? Oh, yeah. Hold on. Am I getting stuck? Oh, that was it.
To get their payback, he could sign who he want to, but with black people, they want to destroy other black people if they don't do what they say do. Okay? And so what they did was they led this young man into a burning house. He had to do it himself, but he had a bunch of old coons that helped him to do it, and they're gonna reap too.
What
These
burning
OGs
house?
that was misguiding them because they had a jealousy for Dolph with they no good asses, because they was jealous of what he had. They helped to lead this throwed young man that was already misguided into a burning house.
It's
But
going
God
in
says,
and
when I
out.
get you
Okay,
back
hold
for
on.
what you did, you're gonna witness it. They are going to get their payback one way or the other, because they misguided a young dude that was already misguided, already enthralled, that was young enough to be their motherfucking son. Okay? So Sometimes, people, it seems like people are winning and they have escaped, but they can never escape the wrath of God, okay? Because what do they do when them infirmities start coming up over their damn bodies, okay? Right? They can't, they just got to go through it. You get it one way or the other, okay? And they going to pay for that. It's a damn shame we got a bunch of old ass men, no good motherfuckers, okay? Excuse my French. When they're no good and jealous to the point of they don't want to. Now I can't ruin my life. Yo Gotti had the beef with Young Dolph, okay?
Right.
So why didn't they go do it? Juke was a street dude. They said he was a street dude that was out there that didn't have no issues with spinning. If they had a chip on their shoulder and some of the rest of them that was involved, why didn't they go and knock that chip off Young Dolph's shoulder? Okay, you know why they didn't do it? Because they feel like their life is worth something. Yo Gotti can't go and take Dolph out, even though he was the one with the problem because of his jealousy. He couldn't turn that jealousy that he had on the inside of him for the boy off. He'd rather have seen him dead than seen him shine. But I can't kill him because my life worth something. I got my sons. I got my daughters. I got my alleged empire because it ain't his. He done borrowed too much money from Interscope. See, I know how it works. A bunch of damn fools ain't never had nothing, don't know. I understand when you borrow that type of money, you got to put up collateral. He don't own CMG. He just the face of it right now. They don't mind him being the face of it, so he can get that money back. You can create an illusion to the damn fools that put people in high places based on what they think they got, okay? And we'll stay behind the scene, but the bottom line is we want that money back we loan you with that interest. And so we're going to keep CMG as a collateral. You better ask somebody. I'm a businesswoman. I ain't no damn fool. Okay? So I know he's just the face of it. Okay? Because he owed too much money. He's borrowed too much money. Hell, even you go borrow, get a small loan from the bank, they going to want some collateral. Okay? So he probably is a small stakeholder in his company. Maybe until he get that money paid back. But you could not have gotten any of them to go and personally take Young Dolph out because they feel like they had too much to lose. They understood what the consequences would be, so they get a bunch of people who they feel like their life means nothing, and we pay them crumbs. And so if they're in retaliatory situations, hey, it comes back to them. Keep my name out of it.
It's still frozen?
Okay? And he thought that his name would be kept out of it. That goes to show he's slow. He was the one that had the issue. It is well documented of the beef. And he thought that people, each and every time the boy...
Hold on, let me go out. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to go all the way out. My phone is getting hot. Okay.
Whoever else he was running with in that endless clique, hoping that he was going to get a deal with Moneybag. Moneybag is still out. Moneybag cut him off quick. Didn't even
Is this where it started freezing or do I need to go back?
He still hadn't passed the smell test. Didn't even want
He surely ain't passed it for me.
his artists referencing him at
Reflections.
all.
Is it
After
still?
this boy had ran with them and he knew what he was being groomed for.
What's
and
the
I
other
believe
guy?
Somehow was a part of it.
Lil Migo?
Okay? But Straightdrop is he's gonna turn, okay? The only reason why he hasn't turned yet is because I think with this appellate court, he has appellate court. Once they deny it, they uphold the state court. what will happen
Can y'all hear me? Is it still frozen?
he could take it to the Supreme Court, which he'll be an old man when they get there, okay, when they finally hear it. And then they're going to deny it. And then your guardian them might be somewhere rotten and dead, okay, but if he going to wait for the Supreme Court. But I don't think that that's going to happen, okay? He sees that he has been used, but he made this choice because he thought that he could come up off of the back of another man, okay? He wanted the fame, and he made a conscious decision to go and ruin another man's life because of his jealousy, okay? That's exactly what it was. You know, I keep thinking about that guy that used to come into my chat that says that you know, Dolph knew he had Straightdrop around him. He should have signed him. But see, that's the mentality of a lot of black people.
She's talking about that Texas guy.
They would have said that to Clive Davis, right? Because Clive Davis had a lot of people around him that he didn't sign, and he signed.
He had that
ops,
Dallas
and they worked
Cowboy.
together. They dare not say anything to a white
I
man.
think.
Okay, but he thought that he had the right to say organization that YOUNGDOLPH built, that he was supposed to sign Straightdrop, and if he didn't, he deserved to die. That was his organization. That was his record label, and he could sign who he wants to. But with black people, they want to destroy other black people if they don't do what they say do, okay? And so what they did was they led this young man into a burning house. He had to do it himself, but he had a bunch of old coons that helped him to do it, and they're going to reap too. These OGs that was misguiding them because they had a jealousy for Dolph with they no good asses, because they was jealous of what he had. They helped to lead this throwed young man that was already misguided into a burning house. But God says, when I get you back for what you did, you're gonna witness it. They are going to get their payback one way or the other, because they misguided a young dude that was already misguided, already enthralled, that was young enough to be their motherfucking son, okay? So sometimes, you know, people, it seems like people are winning and they have escaped, but they can never escape the wrath of God, okay?
Texas 713. Not, it wasn't Texas 713 in the Mo 3 sector. He used to be in the Mo 3 sector, but it wasn't Texas 13, but he had that emblem.
You get it one
He had that
way
same
or the other, okay? And they're going to pay for that. It's a damn shame we got a bunch of old ass men.
Avatar thumbnail.
Motherfuckers, okay?
Avatar.
Excuse my French.
I just can't think of his name. It's been
when
so
they're
long.
No good and jealous to the point they don't want to. Now I can't ruin my life.
He tried to tell me
the beef with YOUNGDOLPH.
I be at Big T Bazaar, and he lied and said that I was related to Trap Boy Freddy. Do you remember that?
They said he was a street dude that was out there that didn't have no issues with spinning. If they had a chip on their shoulder and some of the rest of them that was involved, why didn't they go and knock that chip off YOUNGDOLPH's shoulder? Okay, you know why they didn't do it? Because they feel like their life is worth something. Your guy can't go and
as a shooting came
even though
with
he
it.
was the one with the problem because of his jealousy. He couldn't turn that jealousy that he had on the inside of him for the boy off. He'd rather have seen him dead than seen him shine.
It's true.
I can't kill him. Because my life worth something. I got my sons. I got my daughters.
That's just like Trump telling
alleged empire. Because it ain't his.
That guy, can you take care of that girl?
See, I know how it works. A bunch of damn fools ain't never had nothing, don't know.
The limo driver.
I understand when you borrow that type of money, you got to put up collateral. He don't own CMG. He just the face of it right now. They don't mind him being the face of it, so he can get that money back. You can create an illusion to the damn fools that put people in high places based on what they think they got. Okay, and we'll stay behind the scene, but the bottom line is we want that money back. We loan you with that interest, and so we're gonna keep CMG as a collateral. You better ask somebody. I'm a businesswoman. I ain't no damn fool. Okay, so I know he's just the face of it. Okay? Because he owed too much money. He's borrowed too much money. Hell, even you go borrow, get a small loan from the bank, they gonna want some collateral.
Oh yeah.
Okay? So he probably is a small stakeholder in his company. Maybe until he get that money paid back.
And what is Black Youngster
But
been
you could
doing?
not have gotten any of them to go and personally take Young Dolph out because they feel like they had too much to lose.
Yep.
They understood what the consequences would be, so they get a bunch of people who they feel like their life means nothing, and we pay them crumbs. And so if they're in retaliatory situations, hey, it comes back to them. Keep my name out of it, okay? And he thought that his name would be kept out of it. That goes to show he's slow. He was the one that had the issue. It is well documented of the beef. And he thought that people, each and every time they tried to take the boy out, it came from his camp, and he thought his name would be kept out of it. That's why, he's mentally ill too. You got to be mentally ill to pay for a hit on somebody in your own city about nothing other than jealousy. Okay? But if you all think that Straightdrop is going to sit in jail he's basically got 2 life sentences. I mean, in 5 years, he won't even be getting phone calls. He won't hear from none of those dudes. They would have moved on to wherever they're going to be. And he will be just in the rearview. He's already in their rearview mirror. Okay? They wanted him to keep it real under the guise of just don't tell on me. That's what keeping it real is, bro. Keep it real. In
Just
other
don't
words, what
tell
they
on
be
me.
saying is, bro, just please don't tell on
Remember
me.
he said,
You go do the time. I don't want to do no time.
Whatever you do.
Okay? And so he seems to be having, he was sitting talking about how he missed Teasy.
Hitters,
I guess he
hitters
sees now that
remorse.
Teasy was not the one that told on him.
Hitman
He sees
remorse.
Teasy might have been mad at somebody else, may have told on somebody else, but I think Straightdrop knows at this time now that Teasy didn't turn his back on him, right? And so, hey, I think this young brother is having a whole lot of regret, and at some point, okay, it's gonna all come out. It's gonna all come out. Sometimes you can wait too late, and it won't even matter. But it'll all come out at some point.
It always come out in the wash.
That he's sitting in jail, and all he
Don't it always come out in the wash?
2 life sentences to sit behind a wall. I mean, that's not even healthy for animals. That means they put him lower than an animal. And he's sitting up talking about he wished that he could switch paces with Gino. I'm sure he probably do. Because he's living in hell on this side. I'm talking about Straightdrop. Okay? A young man who had his whole life ahead of him, and now he's got to sit behind that wall for the rest of his life.
For the rest of his natural life.
And the judge wanted to make sure that he didn't get out. He basically got 2 life sentences. He can't serve a 1. But in case he got 9 lives, he died and come back, he gonna have to serve out another one.
He didn't want to eat that cheese the first. He want to eat it now.
So, hey, it's all interesting. We hear that he's turned into...
I bet you he'll eat that cheese now. How much you want to bet? I bet you he'll eat that cheese, hold it in his hand and eat it. Eat it like it's a Snicker, peanut butter, a Snicker. Makes it so satisfying. I bet you he eat that cheese now. I bet you he eat it. Because either they gone Or they left him hanging. Yeah, no.
Because he's living in
Christian
hell
something.
on this
Yeah.
side. I'm talking about straight drop.
A straight up
Okay.
grilled cheese
A
sandwich.
young man who had his whole life ahead of him.
Cheese
And now
and
he's got to sit
crackers.
behind that wall for the rest of his life.
What's that?
Okay. And the judge
Macaroni and
wanted to make
cheese.
sure that he didn't get out. He basically got 2 life sentences. He can't
Eating
serve
that
for one.
cheese.
But in case he got 9 lives, he died and come back, he gonna have to serve out another one. Okay. So hey, it's all interesting. You know, we hear that he's turned into a Muslim and all of that. And
Oh
hey,
wow.
listen, I don't have no issues with that.
Well, I guess that's his protection. So
He
you
was
gotta
out
do what you
doing
gotta do.
devilish stuff, so he couldn't have had Jesus in him. If Allah can make him a better man, that it can make him have some humility and humanity, then I'm all for it.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, that
Okay,
old song.
I'm all for it.
Dear Jesus, I love
But we're
you.
gonna see, you
You're
know,
a
how
friend
all of
of
this turns out, you
mine.
guys. Listen, I'm usually
What a
right on
friend
the
we
money
have in Jesus. You better make
as it
him your
relates to
friend.
stuff like this. You know, but I get to wondering though, what is his mom and them gonna do? Because it's not gonna be easy for him to start. Because see, what he had been trying to do is get other people to tell.
Yep.
Okay, but it is different. It is different when it's hearsay. His wouldn't be hearsay. Okay, he gonna have to stop going behind the bushes and getting everybody else to tell, and they're gonna
Eat the
have to hear it straight from
cheese.
him.
Anime.
Okay.
Eat the cheese.
If he ever want to get some type of credit.
Eat the cheese.
I don't know why, but I always felt like Straight Drop's case reminded me of Alpo. Okay, I just always felt, I don't know why, but I'm talking about him as it relates to his
because he got out and was snitching.
Reminded me of Alpo. Okay. Anyways, you guys.
No, he
I just wanted to talk about
Alpo
the, Straight
got
Drop
out and
sitting
became
behind
an
those
informant.
bars, and he seems to be having regrets.
He ate the cheese. Eat that cheese. You better eat it.
Used. Okay.
Get you some Gouda cheese.
Like
What's
right
your
now,
cheese of
he's going
choice?
through a phase where he's feeling sorrowful and down, feeling sorry for himself.
You need to apologize. You need to come to
people
Jesus, baby.
that wasn't real and that used him. That's usually the first stage. Okay. The next stage is going to be anger. Okay. He said he ain't let up yet, and I don't believe he have. He ain't gonna let up until he gets some of them ones that help to get him behind the bars with him. Okay. They talking about Cornelius. They probably need to be. They worried about the wrong one. Okay.
No, and Cornelius wasn't the one
need to
who
be
was a
worried about
career
Justin Johnson.
criminal with them bodies.
Okay. Because I don't think
Straight Drop was.
I don't think he's got much wind left as it relates to this case. Okay. As it relates to his case, he don't have much wind left. Okay. He can try to breathe life into.
Now it just. And see the thing with him.
You know, this situation by doing the
I didn't hear
appeals and
why he got beat up. I did hear he got beat up. I don't know why. I don't know if someone. I don't know, because in my mind, I thought about Govan sending a kite. Roy. Go with drop. So I felt like, it was either some Dolph boys, Dolph lovers, somebody got a hold of him. And now he may be scared. I don't know. But he better talk and get some of them 99, what's that? Lord, I'm running, trying to make 100 become, them 100 years plus 35. 99, and a half won't do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He better try to get some of that 100. Yeah, out for that. You know, I don't know what to tell you, baby, but I wouldn't be going down by myself. I promise you that. And I know in Chula Mafia's mindset, he was the big OG. They kind of looked up to him. Mm-mm. Forget that. It's time for him to come crumbling down himself. Come on, I got one. I got because I
Would
got
hoping that there can be
8:30.
some type. He can get out on some type of technicality.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do.
But I don't think bro gonna be able to do it. I don't.
Now with the
Okay.
evidence they had on
But
him.
anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you, Tam. Make sure I hit the like button. Let me get to it. And I'm sorry, I just didn't want to touch it until something was moving. Where's her like over here? Okay, hold on.
If you would like to support the channel, you can
Yeah,
definitely.
y'all hit the like button. I ain't got but a few. You know, when I go back to Dolph now, I don't have the same hold on. Wait a minute. Please hit the like button. Lord, I'm running, trying to make 100 become 99. And I have 100. Lord, I'm running. You better call on the Lord. Yeah, it's somebody. Okay, I got one. I want to see what Sicario talking about. I think it's my Candace is at 8:30. So hold on, let's get one more in, and we out. Is that all right? I want to hear. I think it's Sicario. I went to look if Justice for Dolph had. I saw that one. Saw that one. Okay, let's listen to.
2025. Also topping the news at 4 today, the fate of the last defendant in the killing of young Dolph case will soon be revealed. Cornelius Smith appeared before a judge this morning ready to enter a plea deal. However, that did not happen.
You know, Juke was going to testify, and I said that on the last thing. And in retrospect, we can really see the picture. Juke goes to visit Cornelius on visitation at 201. He then takes $50,000 to Cornelius' attorney.
You shot straight, but you shot late. Highlight. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm going to give you the rundown.
Oh, I'm going to give you the rundown.
I'm going to give you the rundown.
Say, man, hey, man, it's OG Jacario.
Say, man, hey, man.
Back at you with another. And Cornelius Smith, one of the shooters, and he testified against two of his co-defendants in the murder trial of young Dolph. And Cornelius Smith testified for several hours across the first day on both of Justin Johnson and Hernandez Govan's trials, and Justin Johnson's trials in 2024, and followed by Govan's in 2025 of last year. In both instances, Cornelius Smith took the stand on the opening Monday of the trial and remained under examination and cross-examination for the majority of the afternoon session. And now, as of February the 12th, 2026, Cornelius Smith has been working toward a plea deal with the prosecution, but a formal agreement has not been finalized in court as of
Still
yet.
haven't been
A plea
finalized.
deal hearing was scheduled for the morning of February 12th, but was reset to March the 30th, 2026. Smith's attorney confirmed that they do not intend to go to trial, but requested more time to address specific details of the agreement of the plea. And the court status of this legal situation involves the following: cooperation. See, it's because, Smith cooperated in both of these trials for the murder of young Dolph. Cornelius Smith has already testified as a star witness of the state in two separate trials: the 2024 trial of Justin Johnson, aka Straightdrop, who was convicted, and the 2025 trial of Hernandez Govan, who was acquitted. And during his testimony, Cornelius Smith admitted to his role as one of the shooters. Existing charges: he currently faces charges for the first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and attempted first-degree murder of young Dolph and others in that building, right? Previous statements during his 2024 testimony, Smith stated that he had received no specific promises from the prosecution at the time that, he was expected to go to prison regardless of his cooperation. While another defendant in the case, Jamarcus Johnson, this is Straightdrop's brother, previously reached a plea bargain in June 2023, pleading guilty to 3 counts of accessory after the fact. Smith remains the last defendant in the case whose sentencing and final plea terms are still pending.
Cornelius Smith, the man accused in the 2021 killing of ADOLPH Thornton Jr., also known as Young Dolph, has agreed to a plea deal. However, details of the plea have not been revealed. Thursday morning, he was supposed to enter his guilty plea in court, but his attorney says some technicalities prevent them from moving forward.
We were intending to go ahead and enter a guilty plea today when we went into court. There are a few details that we need to fix and iron out before we could do that. So we asked the judge for some additional time to complete those details.
His defense attorney did not reveal what those details are, but prosecutor Paul Hagerman says it regards housing.
The attorneys have to get with the Department of Corrections with regard to some technicalities with regard to his confinement.
Smith has openly admitted to his role in the killing. He testified in both Justin Johnson's and Hernandez Govan's trials. Smith claims that he and Johnson were hired by Govan to carry out the hit. He admitted to shooting and killing Dolph, who was visiting a cookie shop in South Memphis on November 17, 2021. Smith stated that he was supposed to receive $40,000 following the death of young Dolph, but instead he got $500 in the letter. Johnson was ultimately found guilty of Dolph's killing, while Govan was acquitted of all charges.
It never ends for the family.
It never ends for the family. Now, I am glad that they counted this as a victory. Thank you, Lord. Any way you bless, I'll be satisfied. Can y'all hit the like button for me, please? Just double tap the face of your phone. Hit those 3 dots at the top right corner.
Dolph's killing, while Govan was acquitted of all charges.
It never ends for the family. This has been a long process to try to
Very
hold these
long.
people responsible. This will be the very last part of it.
Reporting for your news leader, Quamitra Wilborn, WREG News, Channel 3.
And Smith's plea date has been reset to March 30th.
As in recent news, an interview was done by rapper and producer named Mr. Ian. He was on Real Talk with Tamara on her YouTube channel. During the interview, he gave some explosive information.
And he
never
used
heard
to
of
be
information.
hanging with CMG.
This information he's privy to because, like I stated, he's in the music industry, as his ear to the streets. A lot of people there, prominent figures in the music industry all around Memphis. And in 2020, Ian released his first studio album in years with North Memphis Imperial.
Hey, Joe.
In 2022,
Mustafa.
Mr. Ian was awarded a gold plaque for his production on Moneybagg Yo's Time Served album. His latest installment fine-tunes to decades of professional music making from a Memphis-born star. And according to Mr. Ian, he was telling us that he had information that Juke had went and visited Cornelius Smith in 201 Poplar at the jail there while he was being held after the murder of Dolph. And he also dropped the bag off to Cornelius Smith's lawyer, right? 50 grand for the lawyer of the accused killer, the shooter of Dolph.
You know, Juke was going to testify, and I said that on the last thing. And in retrospect, we can really, really see the picture. They search Quid's house. They find nothing. They come back again. They find nothing. They don't arrest him. They stop Juke in the airport. They talk to him. He goes. And then they come and arrest Quid. And he is the mastermind.
He was the mastermind for Cornelius.
On visitation at 201.
He solicited Cornelius.
He did take $50,000 to Cornelius' attorney. TZ gives some type of statement. Clearly, it wasn't in favor of Quid. I mean, he Quid even himself even said.
Unalived him. Lured him.
I think downplaying like your connection to TZ for a reason. For example, TZ often posted that you were his OG, so he had that much respect, and y'all was that locked in to where I don't feel like, bro, coming home and not speaking for a few months, bro, is gonna like say, hey, like bro, like we not as close. No, y'all were still very close, right? Like that was little bro.
How can that be my little bro when his name was on the witness list?
Huh?
Hondo, you heard me. I said, how can that be my little bro if his name was on the witness list?
And he betrayed you, cool. But prior to you knowing he betrayed you,
how long?
That was somebody
you don't know how long.
A strong friendship with.
You don't know how long I knew his name was. You don't know how long I knew that, or how long I knew that information. You don't know. It's several reasons. A lot of things that TZ may or may have not done to make me put distance between us, to make me not reach out to him when I got out on bond.
So now we have TZ, Juke, and Cornelius, and we got $50,000 to Cornelius' attorney. And you heard what Cornelius said in court, right? About Quid, right?
Right.
Now, for those of you who didn't keep up with the trial, you know, every aspect and every part of it, I got you covered. This is exactly what Cornelius said about Govan in the trial. Run.
Shout out to OG Sicario.
And I didn't ask you. Where is this house?
Across the street from the nigga Govan house, where we'll park it or hang out it. We'll park in front of his house and go to his house, hang out. Go to and then Govan house.
Go to his, all right. You park in front of Govan's house.
We'll park at that house and to go over Mr. Hernandez Govan house.
And tell me again what Quet said during these conversations.
Yeah, we needed to get rid of this car. We needed to move this car, get rid of it.
Because y'all had put this car in the driveway on Bradley, right?
Yeah, right across the street from the house.
Right across the street from where Quet lives. And you said y'all need to move this.
Yeah, we gotta burn it down up and get rid of it.
Quit brought me in and set me up for the police and captain me, so might well tell the truth. If we gonna tell the truth.
Okay. Did you tell Quet? Did you go by Quet's house?
Yeah, I ain't called Quit and told you that I was gonna walk in the backyard so he'll know who walking over there. I ain't called him.
So you called him, you let him know. You walked through his backyard.
Not through his backyard. That I was gonna walk in the backyard where the car was in.
Okay. Why would you need to tell Quet you were gonna be at the car across the street? Because he got counted. So I ain't want to think nobody's trying to get him enough to get you niggas. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let him know what's up. And just to be clear, does he have cameras on the abandoned house, or you're just saying shooting out from it, facing out from this house?
So Smith and Johnson are in this stolen white Mercedes. But where do they go? They go to ditch the car. They ditch the car, and we'll hear Sergeant Dabney that the car was left at 1174 Bradley Street, which they later find out is directly across the street from the defendant's home. So what did he do next? Smith contacted Govan from Angela Arnold's phone and asked to meet so he could get his phone back. Not only that, but the day before Cornelius Smith was arrested, he ran into Govan. Govan was concerned. Govan was worried that Cornelius Smith had not been paid. And so what did he tell Smith? He told Smith that he was going to go to pre-bait and make sure Smith got his money.
The individual you described as Shook, is he on the left or right of this phone?
From my angle, he's on the right, big guy. Right.
He's on the right. And the individual on the left, who is that?
That's quick.
And Shook is the person, do you know his government name?
No, now since I've been locked up, Anthony Mills, he's up in locked up.
And Quick, you know what's her name is, government? At some point, I'm sure you all exchange phone numbers.
Me and Quick?
Okay,
I never had Juke number.
You never had Juke's number?
No, I never had no contact with Juke, but I can tell Juke.
So any conversation about bounties went through Govan?
Govan the one that did all the talking.
Was there another individual that was brought into this? Justin
Johnson.
Okay, and how did you meet Justin Johnson?
I met him through Quick as well.
At what point did you meet him through Quick?
Like around the time we did that, they hit on paper at Woo.
Okay, so we're going to put Juke back on the table. What do you think he's going to do? Yeah, he's going, Quick goes to jail for the rest of his life if Juke walks in that courtroom.
Do you think that Teezy's unaliving will be solved?
Do we have the type of detectives that gonna dedicate that kind of time?
That's not already tied in.
Dedicating that type of time. We know if they didn't collect certain evidence at a certain amount of time, we know that's out the window.
Well, I tend to believe, I have reasons to believe that Teezy's case may not be being handled by MPD just based on...
Okay. Well, if there are other resources dedicated to these situations, I don't have any faith in MPD. Let me just say that.
So it's like what Mr. Ian said, had Big Juke walked in that courtroom and testified against Govan, that would have sealed Hernandez's fate, right, for life. And also,
look at him.
Teezy would have walked in there and testified off.
What did he say? I was
I have
listening to
reason
something
to
else.
believe that Teezy's case may not be being handled by MPD just based on...
Okay. Well, if there are other resources dedicated to these situations, I don't have any faith in MPD. Let me just say that.
So it's like what Mr. Ian said, had Big Juke walked in that courtroom and testified against Govan, that would have sealed Hernandez's fate.
That's why he took him out.
Teezy would have walked in there and testified also against Govan.
It would have took his ass out.
Definitely sealed the deal, along with Cornelius Smith's testimony against his
Yeah, but they had more history with him.
And we didn't get to see that because both of these witnesses were killed before the YOUNGDOLPH murder trial even started. Wow. Now, who would benefit? Who would, definitely be in the clear had these two witnesses not showed up to the trial to testify? Now, in this clip here, we hear Ian say, to the effect of who would be the one that would benefit more off of these two witnesses, being deceased now right before the trial for YOUNGDOLPH's murder begins, and who stood to lose the most, right? If these guys did show up to testify,
Yo got it, and Govan.
Wow, check it out. Run.
They were shooting at him days before the funeral. Do we know this? Has it been said?
What that? Yeah.
Okay.
People have said
and then
testified right, in this trial. Wow. Check it out. Run.
You know, they was shooting at Juke day before the funeral.
So he put it out there that it was Dolph. I mean, not Juke.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yo got it.
And then
A crack house or something, you know.
there was an event at the taco spot in Poplar, and there was a shooting there at his vehicle. Do we know about that?
No.
Okay. So it's two. That was one incident, but he left town for a while, and this made it. You know, I wish he would have stayed gone. To be honest with you, because I don't want to see nobody in this situation. I ain't wishing that on. You know, me and Big Dad had no problems like that. You know what I'm saying? So in a lot of ways, I wish he would have stayed gone. But when he did come back to town, before the funeral, on the days leading up to him, yes, they were shooting him.
You know, they talk about Juke possibly owed people money. Stop. He possibly owed people money and all of that. But here's the thing, and he had been owing them money. If he had been allegedly, if this is what happened, owing these people
Dolph
money,
was stopping their money
why
flow.
all of a sudden they just decided they wanted to kill him? I don't know if that sounds like
Is it they saying that's the motive?
Yeah.
No. The motive was he finna send somebody to jail for the rest of their life.
Right.
You gotta understand. You gotta understand. This is you can look around at a lot of things, but who has the most to lose?
You got it.
Right.
DNG.
Yes. Who has the most that they're gonna lose out of this situation? That's what's going on.
Wow.
It ain't the young cats.
Absolutely.
So as we just heard, that was very explosive information that's coming forth now. And according to the insider, Mr. Ian, who has his, knowledge and wisdom about the things that's going on around Memphis and what has happened, and who played what parts and what he knows to be facts. Big Juke, Anthony Mills, your guy's older brother, was going to testify against Hernandez Govan.
Yeah.
Right? And he came to 201 Poplar, the jail there where the shooters were housed.
And
there.
TZ too.
He talked to one of the shooters, Cornelius Smith. He visited him. And Juke paid for the lawyer for Smith, gave him $50,000 to represent Cornelius Smith, the shooter. So we have to ask ourselves, after hearing this information, why would Juke align himself with one of the shooters of Young Dolph, right? Directly. Go to 201 Poplar, the jail there, where the shooters were housed.
Go, man.
And visit with one of the shooters, visit with Smith, and then pay one of Smith's lawyers $50,000 to represent one of the shooters of Young Dolph. Why would Juke do that if they didn't already, throw Govan under the bus? And as we, get this information from Ian in this interview, we can clearly tell that they, were concocting to put this whole ordeal on Govan as the fall guy. And it seems as if once Juke got knocked off, right after teasing, there wasn't nobody to, make the scapegoat. Because if the witnesses can't testify against Govan to make him the scapegoat, then guess what? This is how Govan beat that case. Wasn't no witnesses.
Why do you think if Quet was not involved in this, why out of all people they all decided that they was gonna push it down to him?
Well, I don't know who was involved in a level of involvement. That's what I'm trying to say. They level of involvement. But what I am saying
don't think that they understood that he was only the middleman for Cornelius. They just didn't explain it right.
That all actually happened in a sequence of events. Those are facts. I don't care what you get from this program. All that I just said is facts. You see what I'm saying? Right. Last fact I want you to remember that if Juke would have walked in that courtroom, Quet was going to jail for the rest of his life.
Yep.
I get that.
I wouldn't take up for no nigga.
And we got to remember that he
send me to
sent
jail,
the
bro. I'm
feds
gonna
to
give a
Juke's
fuck about your
house a
brother.
long time ago,
For the
2012.
rest of my life, man, I got kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not in this situation. Them not the shoes I'm in right now. I don't mean no harm, but I'm just telling you, man. If your brother go try to send you to jail for the man, fuck you and your brother for real.
That part. And not think that the brother that was the one that actually had the money to pay for the lawyers and his wasn't involved in this.
I tell you what, ain't no nigga had to sign no affidavit and take no lawyer no $50,000 for no nigga who was trying to hang me. Now what part of the game that was?
But you know, the lawyer for Justin Johnson, he did, beat around the bush to the fact that, CMG did fund the lawyer for Cornelius Smith in the cross-examination during the trial. And Cornelius even admitted that CMG was the ones that paid the money for his lawyer.
The original lawyer in your case got $50,000 to represent you. Did he not? I don't know exactly how much you get. I don't know. I can't say. All right. And you knew that, just we're all clear here, that money came from CNG. Right? Yeah, I don't know exactly who, but go. All right. So you talked today. You got paid for what you just testified to. Didn't you? I down locked up. You got paid, right? Lawyer was paid. You got $50,000 to pay a lawyer, right? I didn't get in my hand, $3. I don't know how much it was, but $3. My lawyer. Okay. And there's no question that that money was for services rendered. Philadelphia. You took it, didn't it? Yeah. Did your conscience bother you? Your conscience. After I came my senses, yeah. Did you say, I can't have that money? I can't use that money, but you still got a lawyer here. No, I ain't say that. You took the money? Yeah, I took the money. I got the money. Your conscience wasn't bothering you that bad, right? You said your conscience started bothering you, but not bad enough not to take the money for the job you did. Well, I had already did it, so might as well. I got a college still. If they came on city. Right. Okay.
And he was complaining that he didn't get paid nothing but $800. Yeah, he was talking about money in hand. But in actuality, Juke had visited him at this jail facility in 201 Poplar there in Memphis. Talked to him about whatever, and then gave Cornelius Smith's lawyer $50,000. Now, according to Mr. Egan, why would this, go down like this if they were saying that Juke was the one, the money man who paid for the hit on dog?
Do you believe Juke being a self-proclaimed street guy?
Here's the thing about that right there. You don't take $50,000 to the opposing person's attorney if you don't want, first of all, this person to succeed against this person, which is Cornelius against Quet, and you are still free. So you must have said something that satisfied them to the degree they'll let you go. And so they had planned on burying Quet alive with no bond, which they did. Cornelius had high-powered attorney, big money, or a nice sum of money paid for that.
That he really couldn't afford.
He's still running around town. And Juke ain't in town, but everyone has given statements, and Cornelius is going to go take the stand. He has the money on the attorney. I don't see any way Quet doesn't do life in jail. I don't care how nobody want to spend this. That's what was getting ready to happen. And he knows it. He knows it. Because here we have...
Who know it?
Juke took $50,000 to Cornelius' attorney. We know this. We know what Cornelius was going to do in court, what he did in court, what he did not succeed in doing in court. And we know that T would have showed up and the nail in the coffin of free. So
Oh my God.
you must have said something that satisfied them to the degree they'll let you go. And so they had planned on burying Quinn alive with no bond, which they did. Cornelius had high-powered attorney, big money, or a nice sum of money paid for that. Keys still running around town, and Juke ain't in town, but everyone has given a statement, and Cornelius is going to go take the stand. He has the money on the attorney. I don't see any way Quit doesn't do life in jail. I don't care how nobody want to spend this. That's what was getting ready to happen. And he knows it. He knows it. Because here we have Juke took $50,000 to Cornelius' attorney. We know this. We know what Cornelius was going to do in court, what he did in court, what he did not succeed in doing in court. And we know that if Teasy would have showed up and the nail in the coffin, it came down to, if you give a statement, if you give a sworn, if you sign a sworn affidavit, reliable hearsay is admissible in court in Tennessee. This is how they play with you. This is how they just put niggas against each other. Reliable hearsay. And so I asked Art Horn one time, I said, well, how do we know that the hearsay is reliable? Well, that's to be determined in the court. No, that was full of shit. Let me answer the question. You know, I mean, God has stood up in Detroit and said, these are the first words out of his mouth after his brother was killed. We don't fold, we don't break, we don't fold. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Nigga still in the gangster major, and you still got to say, we don't break, we don't bend, we don't fold. But when the man gave a statement, man.
Wow. Gosh. Now I see why Govan probably never mentioned in his interviews that I can recall, all the ones I've seen, that, he never stated that Big Juke told on him, made a statement on him, was snitching on him in any type of way. But he did, allude to the fact that he seen some things in the paperwork that Straightdrop, saying that, he wanted to get Cornelius Smith to lie and say that, the other shooter was Govan, right? He stated that.
Do you feel that anyone in your circle betrayed or played both sides?
As it relates to the case?
Yeah.
Who them see?
I guess I can probably speak to the betrayed, some things that came out in trial, that some text messages that dropped and Juke had, and I think this is around the time me and Drop had a disagreement about the music, and he was texting Juke like, man, we need to get bruh out the way, man. Just go on, pay him something, give him something nice, man, and we go on.
They was tired of you,
thing, and,
just like everybody else.
I respect that, I feel like there was some cross-out shit, considering that I was the one trying to put you in position to get you out the streets, and that, and trying to basically convince Cornelius to basically frame me, by saying that I was the person in the video with him shooting dog. When I seen that shit, I had to sit down. Ain't no way I would have seen no shit like that about him. That was my little partner, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, and yeah, so that kind of opened my eyes up to a lot of shit. Like, that's why I kind of be like, I got some niggas I love, but I'm better by myself, though.
But he never stated anything that Juke said, as far as the paperwork was concerned, the discovery. He never said that Juke lined him up to be, held responsible.
But he said it was a witness.
Was trying to frame him or anything like that. He just put it all on Cornelius Smith, and
I thought he
He said he was
said,
upset with Straightdrop a little bit that he would do him like that.
and
Nothing
Teasy.
about Juk. Now, isn't that something? Now, what did we learn? Well, Juk and Teasy allegedly gave statements. They were going to throw Govan under the bus. They were witnesses who came up dead before the murder trial for young Dolph started. Right? How convenient for the person who was, standing to gain the most from them not testifying. Right? And, all this right here is starting to paint a clear picture on what really happened to these two unsolved murders, right? One of SH0OTA and one of Big Juk, Anthony Mims, the brother of Yo God.
But see, it's not when you put yourself in the shoes of somebody that everything is riding on this. You see what I'm saying? See, when it comes down to, I got to do it. See, for somebody, it came down to, ain't no other way. I got to do this way. You see what I'm saying?
If Quick do minimal interviews, he gonna almost
Snitch on himself.
If he give minimal interviews, he gonna be in the toe who took Juk out, because he says everybody on the street knows now. Now this is just an opinion.
That's not everybody on the street. I'm not gonna tell you that everybody on the street do not know that. That person is not incarcerated. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But everybody don't know that. They just, that may have been something he was saying in his dialogue. You know what I'm saying? But
you talk too much.
Well, he seemed to have been sure about it. He said it matter of fact.
Yeah, I didn't like that they was supposedly going after D.O. Kenny and was asking him about all of that like that. That wasn't cool. I didn't think that was justified. I know what he said in the song and all that, but them people well aware of where that man was when all that took place.
Well, Quinn has said himself he wouldn't let a rain, even though, now we all know that Juk threw Quinn up under the bus, because I'm the word on the street is that he threw a couple people up under the bus. So I don't know though. That's just something I heard. But I'm sure Quet has had his discovery. Quet knows everybody that.
Absolutely.
But he says that he has such a solid relationship with Juk, he wouldn't allow a raindrop to touch Juk the wrong way.
Oh shit.
So could he not?
It sound good.
It sound convincing right there.
Well, obviously, he does not believe that Juk would have, did anything to him.
It ain't about belief. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It ain't about belief. Now, that name was redacted on when they brought the discovery to their cell. Let me let you know that. That name was blacked out. But he ain't no damn fool. And if he wanted to be, let me tell you something. The guys around him wasn't gonna let him be. But he wasn't no damn fool. He know that all these folks that piled all this stuff up.
Yeah, he know who was there based off of the story.
10 months with no bond. It
on
wasn't
that
no
paper.
way to get out. I don't care who had no money. It wasn't no way to get out. Them people really tried to bury the dude alive.
Do you believe that Juk's murder will be solved?
No.
So y'all get in the comment section. And
Okay,
y'all.
y'all.
What y'all think about this entire situation, because Cornelius Smith won't be, finalizing his plea deal
Till
until
the end of the month.
The end of next month, you guys. But, this was never brought out in court that he visited one of the shooters. Big Juk visited Cornelius. So, y'all let me know, man.
Okay,
And until the
y'all.
next
I'll be
time.
back at 8:30. I'll be back at 8:30 on my Candace and Trump. Peace out.